Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to
Forcing myself to compliment K-pop groups I can't stand. So this video gonna be interesting for the simple fact that she's gonna reveal the groups that she can't stand. Cause like we get she shades groups
yeah.
all the time, but like so which groups truly she like can't stand? Okay, number one is Kiss of Life. Okay.
Is that rising global pop star
Makes
sensation
for that.
Lara
Makes
Brock?
sense. Makes sense.
so cool.
Hi, fellow haters. Today we're doing community service, saying one nice
can
thing
still be
about groups y'all
shady.
swear I hate. Keyword trying. I don't actually hate.
Oh, y'all swear I hate. So not that she hates, but the people think she hates. Never mind. I thought we were gonna have get a little intel into her psyche.
them. It's not like Somi stole my man. I just rarely find anything nice to say. Anyway, first up, Kiss of Life, aka the girl group I couldn't shut up about until that birthday livestream face-planted into a racial mess so hard it cracked my last nerve. Yeah, I ghosted them for 4 months straight and only dragged them out the vault when referencing that disaster. And now we're in this weird limbo where everyone's asking, do they deserve a second shot? Look, whether or not they get one isn't up to me. That's the Black and Latin community's call, period. But since we're already in the mud, let's dig. In theory, yeah,
Whose
anyone
call
can grow,
is it?
learn.
That is so interesting. No,
Did they get a second shot?
I feel like you know what happens. You may not get a second shot with the same people, but
Yes.
you do get to right to start all over and try to find a new audience who's willing to receive and see from a outside, not in the situation, if they have changed.
I absolutely agree. I think when it comes to K-pop, none of the K-pop groups are so special to a point where I would give them like any second shot because they're all the same. But there's gonna be that group that didn't like let you go, that's still your fans, so you have a little base. And then
Yeah.
if you don't bankrupt, if you still go on, you might find new people, people that were not aware of the previous scandal or that don't care. And you as a group you might get a second shot, but I don't think you will get a second shot with the same people because there's nothing really special about you. Like these groups, they all like carbon copies of
Or
each
it's
other.
hard to really change the minds of people if they feel some type of way about the situation. And it's like, they have a right to, if they want to, like, accept that you moved on or not.
Like it's not even like, for me it's not like I feel a certain way about Kiss of Life. Like I'm not really affected by what they did. I don't care. It's just I don't care about them either. Like they did some things too. I'm like, okay, whatever, enough. I don't care.
You know how I feel? It's like a breakup. Like, if you guys are just together for 3 months and I find something I don't like, it's easy to get rid of you. I won't think twice.
I think so too.
I'm least inclined to give you a second
I think so
chance.
too. Yeah.
I'm gonna let the next person figure out if you
think so too.
somebody or not. I'm gonna move on.
Yeah.
But maybe if the person was like, okay, like we together like for a long time, whatever that long time is, and something happens, and okay, I may be a little hesitant. Okay, I'll give you a second chance.
I think like for example like a Blackpink fans, if somebody was like the fan for like
I get it.
2016 and now with the whole N-word thing, I understand why they wouldn't want to let it go, or if stuff like that, because you've been a fan for like almost a decade. For us, we just found out about Blackpink a year ago.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. Like it's not that Blackpink ain't that special to me. I really don't care.
So the question in the Discord was like, or was it Discord or the
Comments.
comment? Okay, so in the comments they say, oh, so why don't you let go of YG artists? Period. It's like, if I have a breakup with the man and I see his friends, I don't have problems with his friends. Like the friends haven't shown me anything to give me reason to give like a side eye or don't talk to me. I'm
The
able to
argument
separate
was
the two.
the comment was that hold up, let
Tell
me
it.
paraphrase it correctly. So since YG made the girl say the word, which should I agree, I think that YG made them say, I don't think they had a choice in the matter, so I do agree with that. Why do you not like boycott other
YG artists?
YG artists? Yeah.
Because it have nothing to do with the artists. I criticize the company all the time. I do think the people who are in the company management,
Okay.
they don't hold that position for life.
You brought a great point.
They don't hold
You
that
brought a
position
great
for life.
point.
These people are constantly changing. I can't hold it against the artists to what management make them do. That's why I say, were you silent or were you silence? Because that's why there's a big caveat for me looking at the Blackpink girls. It's like, okay, if you were to come out and say, I can't really say it because there's so much pressure from the company to not speak about it, I understand. You need to make your money. You need to eat. I understand that. That's an understandable thing. But if you can't be that girl group. You have all the power. You have all this pull. And you telling me you can't come out against the company and say, oh, that we're wrong with that. Like, come on.
Right.
Forget about
So yeah, they definitely Blackpink girls definitely have the power to come out and say whatever the company they're
Yeah.
not controlled by the company at this
Like, you
point
could
of the
say,
career.
you could hold the company accountable, say that was wrong.
But also, I think the biggest reason it just hit me now is that we're not really like the way you guys see K-pop labels. I don't really see them. I see the K-pop labels how I see American labels. The fact that UMG made Beyonce do certain things or made Kendrick do certain things that ruined Drake's career, and if I was a Drake stan, I wouldn't just go and boycott every UMG artist. Like I don't what? So a third of a music, maybe even half of a music I can't listen to now? No. That's not how this works. So for me also like the YG is not like YG is a music label. I don't really care. They made the girl say the word fine. And even made is like made sounds like put a gun to the head and made it no. But they gave the songs to sing fine, whatever. It's not even about the fact that they said it either. The fact that they said it, they were 16. I understand they were in a position they didn't have a choice. I'm not mad at that either. The problem is
Now they grown.
they grown. They
Bosses,
have the
supposedly.
platforms. They control their own
Yeah.
destinies, and they did not even
And
come out and say, "Oh, what
did-
I did was wrong."
Did you not hear what
That's what the
YG
issue.
said in his announcement? Maybe the girl, maybe whenever it's done, I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's finished, it's finished. Then we
Yeah.
move on. He don't
Yeah.
even have. He doesn't look like he's
Yeah.
driving the bus. He's not driving the bus.
Yeah. So it's to me the fact that they're other YG artists have nothing to do with Blackpink, and it would be unfair to Baby Monster to not give them a chance because of what Blackpink has done.
Exactly.
That's
that-
very not fair.
That would what would that be? I feel like that's for some reason that's like over justice. This is overkill. Like this
to
is
me,
like
it's like let's say a parent of someone is a murderer, and now you're gonna think, oh, that child is going to be a murderer because the parent is a murderer. No,
yeah,
it's not. You
yeah.
can't.
You
That
can't
the
do
child
this.
might be genetically inclined. I don't know, but
I
you
watched for the signs.
you will watch for the
Yeah,
signs.
you watch for the
You
signs. You're
watch for the signs.
vigilant.
Yeah, so like when we see Treasure, we see
I'm watching them. How
Choi
they're
Han
moving.
Suk, whatever his name is with the green hair. We look at him a little, okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah, we kind of look at him like Tarzan a little bit, but we don't like because he hasn't crossed the line, so we won't boycott.
He
it.
walks a fine line.
He
does a good
walks,
job.
he walks, yeah, but you know, it's so far he hasn't crossed it, and he seems to have pulled back a little bit
Yeah.
now. So it's whatever. But that's what, like we keep an eye on it, but we don't automatically assume that because the parent is a killer, the child is going to be a killer. No, it doesn't work. You can't just judge children because of parents, nor can you judge parents because of children either. So it's
Because right now I'm not holding Blackpink for the crimes like when they were 16. I'm more holding them
for
for
not
today.
yeah
today.
it's not about not apologize. It's not
Yeah.
about the fact that they said it, because I understand why they said it. There's so many extenuating circumstances that we
Yeah.
can forgive them for it. It's just they
Yeah.
need to come out and say it. My bad. And they couldn't even do that, so that is the main issue.
Learn,
So
evolve.
ultimately, Kiss
One
Alive
mistake.
can come back. It's just with a new audience.
Yeah.
If they're out there.
Yeah.
Mistake shouldn't define your life forever. If, and that's a Godzilla-sized if, you actually show reflection, growth, and stop hiding behind vague PR-filtered apologies. But I doubt Kiss of Life will even mention that again. So there's nothing to convince us they meant anything beyond please don't cancel us. Their fans are crying they were just getting big, so people tried to drag them down. Maybe K-pop's allergic to newcomers with momentum, especially from smaller companies. Hybe and Big 3 stans see a threat and go feral. But let's not rewrite history. The girls did mess up. The fandom should have held them accountable. And honestly, I was surprised they actually did. Most fandoms would rather swallow glass than hold their faves responsible. Case in point, BTS's V could lip sync the N word and armies would wipe the internet clean overnight. Kiss of Life doesn't have that kind of fanbase influence, so they got coped, and now that they're back on stage, like at the recent Sigit Festival where people tried to get their performance shut down like KCON LA, it's awkward. But let's be real, they did great, objective hat on. They served a clean live vocal set, prioritized a cool vibe over energy. Very grounded, very professional. Belle's cover of Golden? Sis floated. She lives in that upper register rent-free and made it sound like buttered clarity. But here's where it gets
Well-
murky. Their fans started yelling. Why?
It's not. It was never about their talent up for debate. It's more about their character and how they're moving on. So I'm not shocked that they did well in their performance. They were growing. They were becoming bigger and bigger each time they came out with a new project. So that's not shocking. So it's not like people are out here waiting for them to suck at their performances. I just think it was more about if they truly have got better character and was able to really understand what they
Reflected
did.
on
Yeah.
what they did.
Why are y'all still dragging Kiss of Life when Tarzan is out here playing dress up as 2004 Lil Wayne with
Oh no, we're not gonna do whataboutism. No, no, no. Just because Tarzan is doing something doesn't excuse nobody else from doing nothing. No, 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 no.
no consequences? And yeah, fair point. Tarzan's been swimming in online backlash but still standing like nothing happened. The industry didn't blink. Why? Because he's got the black label shielding him. And Kiss of Life? They're out here dodging rotten tomatoes with no umbrella. But do I believe the fans bringing up Tarzan actually care about racism? Heck no, they're not fighting for justice. They're fighting for equality and not being held accountable. It's if our faves go down, then drag his butt down too, which, yeah, petty. But also, correct. The inconsistency
I
is
can see
rancid.
that.
The public
Yeah,
thinks
'cause you
Kiss of
want
Life
it to be
scandal felt worse.
consistent. Like you don't want to feel like, oh, I got a speeding ticket. Why not all the other people like apply this rule consistently to across the board? Because honestly, there should be some sort of investigation. Well, I don't know who would investigate this.
Ooh, they don't
But
care.
like you know
Nobody
how
really cares about it.
like when there's a law that passed, but it seems like a certain type of person keeps falling into the issues of getting the fines of the law that's passed, then it could be suspected that the law that is established is unfair because it's unequal treatment to all persons that are applied unto this law.
Right.
So I can see like in the eyes of public opinion, the court of public opinion, I feel like it is justified for them to want equal treatment for everyone in the same scenario because we don't want like favoritism, but we know that favoritism exists.
Like, to be fair, like, even, if we do compare the Tarzan's case versus Kiss of Life, I think Tarzan did way worse than Kiss of Life did, to be honest. To me, Kiss of Life, it was like a one-off. They made a one bad judgment call. Tarzan is continuously keep making bad judgment calls. He said the N-word where there wasn't no N-word, so he said it by choice. And
I keep forgetting that
yeah,
because I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it.
yeah, man, like this is way worse than what Kiss of Life did. I mean, but maybe what
Because I think what happened with the Kiss Alive is because it was a live stream and it was cringe after cringe after cringe.
yeah,
So
but
it was a whole
one
bunch of cringe.
occasion. Tarzan
Yeah.
is days on days, going on months.
Yeah, I see that.
So like, if we're being objective, like Tarzan case is way worse than Kiss of Life. Now, Kiss of Life again, because it's such a new group. I barely know them. At this point, I don't really care about them anymore. And they did have a good song before, but no, it's like whatever. I don't care anymore. But if I'm being objective, we should keep the same energy with Tarzan.
Remember we were watching a video where they say like for girls they're harder on the girls, but for the boys
That's also true.
they're
Yes.
very
Yeah.
willing to give a pass for the boys.
Yes, that's very true.
I forgot what context that was in terms of what.
It was a video why guys get stuff for giving and girls not. Now, was that a separate video on that subject or like one of these K-pop Spice videos? I don't know.
I think it was separate.
I don't
Mhm.
feel like it was
This-
separate. Though. I don't think we watched a separate video like that.
It was someone else's video because how I understood it is that, this is embedded into the culture.
It was the Shiwang T.
Yeah,
I think it was in
yeah.
the Let's Talk video
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
did.
Like it's embedded since childhood,
Yeah.
like in raising
Yeah.
kids.
So
There's different treatment from.
okay,
for
but by
boys
that
and
logic,
girls.
then why did Blackpink didn't get no backlash? They girls.
That's true.
Worse because it was a live stream joke,
These
whereas Tarzan is
exceptions,
a
so
full-time
interesting.
cosplayer and somehow that scene is less offensive? Be serious. At least with Kiss of Life, you could argue it was immature ignorance and poor taste. Tarzan is embodying the caricature 24/7 like it's a
Yep. I
I
lifestyle
think it's
brand.
because it's
One
like
gave tone deaf
Blackpink is right now is like a cash cow, so no one's gonna turn their back on the cash cow.
Cash cow for YG, but not for fans.
They invested a lot. It's a lot of invested.
Fans? Oh, they
yeah.
can't let it go. Because
No, because don't you understand? Like for example, I'm not comparing to like for example, when Michael Jackson went to the court hearing about him, having dealings with children, people were very upset about this or even denying before even the case finished completely that he was innocent. So it's like it's hard to like separate these two things from the artist and lose that trust because it's like a kind of like a heartbreaking moment.
yeah, and that's why I always say the accusations is dangerous, and we
Mm-hmm.
need to see proof, and always it is until proven guilty, because just the accusation can really maybe not ruin, but
Even Michael
negatively
Jordan.
affect someone's career.
Because even Michael Jordan got like bad PR at one point. People kind of like, can I still be
Michael
fans of Michael
Jordan is outside of basketball not exactly
I don't think he's
a
liked.
liked figure. Like
Yeah.
in terms of basketball, yes,
Yeah.
but he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
So like outside of basketball, yeah, he's who he is. He got money, whatever, but he's not like the nicest person. Yeah.
Mhm.
racist party gag. The other gives fetishized identity theft with a budget, but only one is getting industry doors slammed. Wonder why. Next is the Baby Monster redemption arc I never thought I'd write. The internet has already stamped my forehead with official Baby Monster hater, and honestly, fair. I've dragged them so hard I should be banned from their fan cafes on site. I've given them nothing but side eyes and sass since debut, and I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. But plot twist, I actually do like a lot about
Listen.
them. Let's start with the obvious. They don't have.
Listen, if I was a K idol, I wanna start some smoke with Baby Monster. I would do a diss track and say, "Hey, Aeon, why you yelling at the mic?"
I think that would be very smart move as a K-pop
Yeah,
idol. Baby
yeah.
Monster is the next god thing. I
Yeah.
think to diss them publicly on a mic, I think it would be very smart move.
Yeah, roasty girls.
I think for an up and coming K-pop idol, I think if obviously it would be gutsy because there would be a lot of backlash, a lot of hate from Baby Monster fan base because they have a big fan base. But that K-pop does like to do controversial shit. We see that. We just saw that with Japan and IVE. We saw that with Karina and the election. We see that with the black culture. They like to. They know what they're doing. At this point, you can't claim
It's not
ignorance.
even sus.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. So for a new group to like what group would that be? I don't know. Black Swan, for example. And I'm not like throwing shit at Black Swan. I'm just saying like a smaller label group that's also like Fifth Gem, but a smaller, big label would never allow to do that. But a smaller label, this Baby Monster, this Aeon for yelling at the mic, this whoever you want. Ooh, this would be so much buzz. That would be such a good bad PR and good PR. I would do it in a heartbeat.
You know, there's like this conversation on TikTok going around, like what's the like different norms. So when you go into like Asian culture, Asian community, if you are an outsider and you're going in, they will videotape you. But the
What do you
question,
mean,
like videotape,
going
like, oh,
in?
because you like if you're going to visit their country and you're like an outsider, they'll videotape you.
An
but-
outsider going to visit them.
Like say you're coming like a blonde going to India, a blonde woman going to India. She's gonna get videotaped
Just 'cause
because
she's blonde.
she's blonde. But the question is, do they know that's rude? The answer is they know it's rude,
But they don't
but they don't care because it's such a like a foreign, like a not a normal situation, and they want to record it. So I think overall there's things that can draw the line as controversial, that in the culture they're not afraid to kind of cross that line for the sake of this is a very unusual, rare experience. Even here in the West, like if we were to see like what would be something odd that we would see here, people will record or film even though it would be weird or rude to do so.
Somebody doing dumb shit in the gym.
Yeah, but I don't know if
putting,
this
like, on
was
Jim Beam's
if
page?
this was considered
No.
rude. But
It is
like
rude.
it is rude
You're
to take
filming someone
pictures,
else without
like
their
someone
consent is
that's a
rude.
regular person,
Yeah,
and you
you're
take
filming
pictures
and putting
put-
them online
and the
without their
thing
consent, that's
is,
rude, yeah.
the viral video is the lady is looking and smiling, and she sees like we're making eye talk. We know you're filming us.
I think I've seen the video. You talk about the guys in India where they're like taking pictures next to the girl and they make her uncomfortable. I saw that
Yeah.
video,
So the question is, do they know that they're crossing a boundary? They're being rude, and the answer is yes, because
I
there's
think
some.
grown men know.
They know because
when kids do that, maybe not. But
because
grown
of
men,
how
yeah, they do know.
conservative it is and the restrictions there are on women, because women, there's like you can't be too revealing, you can't be too showy. So how can a man just go and impose himself on a young lady by herself?
But India has those restrictions. I thought that was more like Muslim countries.
No, they do. They do. It's like conservative values. I'm just saying overall in the East, for conservative values of like if the people know that what they're doing is rude, or are they innocent bystanders and watchers who are just observing?
I always like to give people the benefit of
You
the
do,
doubt.
yeah. People do
I
generally.
do play the devil's advocate a lot, but I did watch that video. In that video, the video you talking about,
Like they come close, like,
I
and
saw
you
the
don't know
video,
this
yes.
person. That's
That
the
in
thing.
that video you talking about, they knew what they were doing. Now, another case, I can't say that that's for a fact for every scenario, but like for example, white person goes to the middle of Africa, like some sort of village, and everybody's like, oh, we're all that person because never seen a white person.
They'll come see you.
I don't
Yeah.
know. In that case, it's necessarily they know it's rude. They probably never seen a white person. It looks
Yeah.
like an alien to them.
But the thing is,
that
it
might not
becomes
be-
a violation of space.
It is a violation of space, but sometimes like they might not. Or like another example, like a black person might go in the middle of Asia, like in some sort of like a small village in China. It's similar. Reverse thing might happen. They're like, oh, never seen a black person before. So I think in that case it doesn't have to be that it's rude. Well, I mean it is rude, but they don't know that it's rude, so it's like whatever. So you can say generally in every case, but at the video, particular video you're talking about, I have seen that video, and they know what they were doing. They did not care about her personal space. She was clearly uncomfortable, and they
Yeah.
did not give a fuck.
Because I always wonder when we were watching these things, and there's like always the benefit of the doubt. Is that only like in a sense of like,
The benefit of the doubt in these videos comes because the K-pop stands, they don't want to admit that their idol might not be the
as innocent as
yeah.
they think they are?
Because they idolize the image in their head, because the word is idol, right? It's a god-like figure, and they think that person is perfection. There's flawless.
Yeah.
There's no flaws.
Because there's always a persona, and then who the actual person is.
Of course, always. Yeah.
Oh.
Everything you see is controlled.
Have a weak link, like genuinely, vocally, dance-wise, performance-wise. You can't point at a single member and say, oh yeah, she's the deadweight. That alone makes them rare in this era of uneven lineups padded with vibes. And nepotism. These girls all pull their weight, and for that, I respect them. Asa specifically might be one of the best rappers YG's churned out in years. She's got that natural swing, that rhythmic intuition you can't teach. And on top of that,
She does.
she's writing too. All YG has to do now is reel in the AAVE overdose before she ends up sounding like a TikTok parody of Black Twitter. The talent's there. Now give her the right guidance so it doesn't get lost in cosplay. And a Hyan, she's a full course meal. Vocals, dance, presence, charisma, idol rap. It's all there, just bursting out of her tiny frame like she's been doing this for 15 years. She's like if Wasa chugged a Red Bull. I admire her guts. She storms on stage like she owns it. No hesitation. But my gripe? She sometimes goes too hard. Her energy gets so nuclear it starts to bulldoze the choreography and eclipse the other girls when it's their turn to shine. That's where pacing comes in. Like Jihyo from Twice, she will make sure she's heard. But that line between commanding and screaming is real thin. And sometimes a Hyan cartwheels over at
I feel like I
midverse.
haven't seen
Now
Hwasa in
Ruka,
a long
God, I love
time.
her energy.
She just
She's
reminded me
YG's
of
cla-
her. Hwasa.
You just saw her, no?
I don't feel like we did.
Then maybe I just saw like her on a thumbnail or so. She did something lately. Yeah, she was at the news or something. Like last week.
Classic swag machine rapper prototype with that hype man aura. Crowd work, top tier, dancing, beast mode, but 90% of the time, she's yelling, not rapping. I need her to take that mic out of her throat and give me delivery, not vocal assault. There's a difference between hype and hollering, and it's time we learn it. Then there's Rora. And I swear this girl's lower register could heal trauma. That voice? So rich, so clean. She brings the vocal contrast the group desperately needs with all the scream singing chaos happening around her. Her dancing isn't the cleanest, details get lost. But she makes up for it with energy and a mature presence that fills the gaps without drawing attention to them. A true balancer. As for Chiquita, my center queen, she gets it. She's the most evenly distributed member performance-wise. Her dance and vocal balance is solid, and her energy's just right, not too overpowering, not too passive. Yeah, she overdances sometimes, but it never throws the group off like a Hyan's high-speed takeover mode. She's built for center positioning because she knows how to shine without hogging. Parita, on the other hand, is elegance personified, poised, grounded, and vocally gorgeous. But sometimes she feels like she's gliding through the routine on autopilot. Like, she technically hits the moves, but she's not always living in the music unless it's her line. Sis, I need that switch flipped all the time, not just during your part. And then there's Rami, aka my personal fave alongside Chiquita. This girl's got pacing down to a science. Her execution is tight. Her harmonies are chef's kiss and her stage presence is sharp without ever overshadowing anyone. She's the glue in
Blonde hair
theory.
is
She
not
knows
good
how to
here.
support the group dynamic without playing the
They're
spotlight
bleaching it too harshly.
hog, which is rare and valuable. So yeah, individually, these girls are stacked. But, and here comes the stubborn hater in me, the biggest flaw still stands. They perform like 7 soloists on the same stage. No cohesion, no sense of we're enhancing her right now. When one member's center
I mean, I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
7 soloists, 7 not soloists.
so.
I'm not an expert in that. I'm not gonna sit here pretend.
I guess
But-
right now the camera work has done a good job. Like you don't see everyone at the same time. You think the camera that we've been seeing lately is like we see a
But
few girls.
I
the
would
other
say
girls.
there's nothing wrong with 7 soloists. Fifth Harmony
On
was
a stage?
5 soloists.
On a
Yeah,
stage.
Fifth Harmony was 5 soloists. All the West people are soloists. They were never like as What K-pop has like mastered is like that unison. Everyone like it's very synchronized, like synchronized swimming, right? In the West, that's not really necessary. Like right now, yeah, there's still a K-pop group, but you know, if they eventually have like the dreams of Blackpink becoming a global girl group, I don't think it's a downside for them to be not like as synchronized as to have like 7 different shining personalities. Kind of with Katsa. Katsa is so far synchronized. They've been synchronized, but they also have the personalities too. So I don't think that's that's the downside for me. Yes, in K-pop world, if you're looking just for K-pop, for that Korea audience, it's a downside, fine. But I don't think that's their aspirations. I think YG formed this group to replace the Blackpink. So I think this is, in their case, I don't think that's a downside. If we were talking about Hearts to Hearts and the Hearts to Hearts had this problem, I would say that's a problem because Hearts to Hearts clearly is more like the Korea targeted group. Baby Monster, I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna be a problem for them going in their careers.
The rest need to fall back and serve support. Not everybody fighting for the camera like it's a dance battle. If they fix that, if they learn group chemistry, staging balance, and energy control, then I'll shut up. Now on to All Day Project. My beef with their
Plus, as we watched the SBS Gaio de Jean Summer, that Baby Monster's individualism is what made them have the best performance of the night. We haven't seen every performance, but we saw like what 60-70% of them. We saw like the major groups. Still haven't uploaded all the videos, been copyrighted.
What? Oh
Yeah,
my
still have a
God,
couple
really?
left. Yeah. But Baby Monster had hands down the best performance of that night. Why?
Did Jackson Wang get posted up?
Yeah, that was a fan cam. Yeah.
So who's not posted that we did?
IVE and ITZY and NCT 127.
Oh.
NCT 127 was also one of the best performances, but Baby Monster was the best performance. Why? Because of those 7 personalities, because they didn't even dance. And that's K-pop groups, they need to dance because they're a unison. They're a unit, has the 7 or however many members, and so they have to all dance synchronized. For them, they don't have to do that because the 7 people, they are maybe a little chaotic, sure, if you want to call it that, but it works because they just capture the stage. Like that performance they did in Gaio de Jean was really, really good performance. For like a rookie group, they still consider rookies, I believe.
How long do you not consider rookie?
They said like a year and a half or 2 years, something like that, yeah. So they're soon gonna not be rookies, sophomores, I guess. But yeah, that performance by far the best, and it was exactly because of the chaos that they have in the group. So I don't see that as a downside.
concept was so loud it practically made me overlook some real talent in the lineup. I was so busy side-eyeing Teddy's vision board, I forgot to give Bailey her flowers, and that's on me. I've always been cool with Youngsu and Wuchan. They've got skill, presence, and consistency. But I've been sleeping way too hard on Bailey. The girl isn't just good, she's got technique. She's professionally trained and worked outside the idol system, and you can see the difference in how she paces her movement, controls her energy, and actually disappears into the group when she's not the focus. Compare that to someone like Annie Moon, who's still figuring out left foot from right, and Bailey looks like she's operating in another dimension. Now Tarzan, he's got talent, I won't lie. But someone needs to hit him with a spray bottle like a misbehaving cat because the overperforming is getting out of hand. He starts every song like it's the Super Bowl halftime show and ends it like he fought in a war. There's no pacing, no restraint, just swag turned up to 11 the entire time. And while that might impress TikTok stans, it murders the choreography's texture. The dude's not bad, in fact. He's the second best dancer in the group, but he needs to learn when to dial it down, especially when he's not center. You're not a backup dancer in a music video from 2003. Chill, now Annie Moon. I've read her to filth before and I stand by 80% of it, but I'll admit, I was going a little too hard on her. Look, when you're rich, debut out of nowhere and your surname is basically money, the bar is in the stratosphere. If you don't show up slaying vocals, choreo, and charisma, people will assume you bought your spot. And honestly, she didn't help her case. She's got breath control issues. She delivers lines like she's reading off a cue card, and her stage presence gives I'm trying my best, but not I'm ready for this. But I can't sit here and pretend she's not trying. She's not lazy. She's just green. She only trained for a year and it shows. The fundamentals aren't there. Her movements are soft where they should be sharp. She loses choreo details constantly. And I'm still trying to figure out why Teddy Park thought she speaks English equals let's make her a rapper. But she's putting in effort, and that's worth something, even if I didn't see a polished idol. I see a trainee who's at least fighting to get there. Next up is Min Heejin. She's a genius, over 2 decades in the machine.
Yeah, Annie Moon, I like her voice. I think she has a unique voice. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about her.
Most of it under the mothership SM means she didn't just learn the playbook, she helped write the footnotes. You can see the Lee Soo-man residue all over her. Turn outrage into oxygen, make controversy a funnel, walk out spotless while everyone else is singed. The ego is skyscraper tall, the confidence is bulletproof, and the media instincts are crazy. Those tantrums around new jeans that look childish to us older stans? Actually clever. Teenagers won't read lawsuits, but they will rally around they stole our look, plagiarism, our back hair silhouette, simple frames that manufacture sympathy and mobilize bunnies. When projects wobble, avoid the backlash, then repositions herself as the visionary victim and somehow wins the narrative twice. I roll my eyes constantly, but I can't deny it that she's one of the most effective creative directors this industry's produced, because she's seen every trick, isn't shy about using them, and keeps getting results. Next is Idol Soyeon. Do y'all remember when Lessa Ratham's Yunjin opened her mouth to say she wanted to change the industry? We clowned her like she asked for world peace in a Miss Universe pageant, but the mockery was never about what she said. It's just that people hate when a woman dares to speak with conviction. Meanwhile, Soyeon's been out here actually doing it. You don't have to like her music. I sure don't always. But you can't deny she's built different. Half the time her girl power tracks be throwing around feminist hashtags like confetti, but end up doing exactly what they're supposedly fighting against once the stage outfits hit. But here's the kicker. She's trying relentlessly, consistently, obsessively. That kind of creative stamina is rare in this business. Soyeon didn't just build G-Idol from the ground up. She resurrected them from the grave. Cube was digging the moment Soojin left. Let's not pretend that company wouldn't have locked the rest in the basement with dust mites. She carried that group like a mother holding her kids during a hurricane. People love to toss around self-produced idol as if it's a marketing label. Soyeon lives it. She's elbow deep in her own music, performing like the stage owes her money and actually crafting concepts that, while sometimes clunky, have vision. And y'all still act like she doesn't exist unless it's to roast her line distribution or drag her face like we're in 2018 all over again? Get a grip. And don't even start with the big four bias mess. G-Idol and ATEEZ stay being gaslit by chart watchers and fandom statisticians who act like numbers only count when they're attached to a Hive logo. These two groups are doing
Idol. They were at the summer shows at the Gaio de Jean. I think they were there. We saw Yuki there. We reacted. We didn't react to the whole group because honestly, their recent songs just haven't been really it. That I'm not really interested in them.
doing laps around the industry without the trillion-dollar push behind them. And the denial is loud. Soyeon's achievements hit different because she earned every single milestone in a rigged system. But here's what y'all never understand. I can roast her lyrics too. Filth. I can say her songs sometimes feel like Pinterest feminism and still cheer for her. Because the grind, the audacity, the fight she brings to every stage. She is the moment, flaws and all. Lastly, Kepler. Look, if you've been following me even a little, you already know I had this group locked in my...
She's been dragging Kepler? I feel every one of them, yes, she's been dragging or like firing shots. I don't feel she really has anything like Kepler though. Okay.
Spirit. The chaos surrounding them from the jump was just exhausting. The fandom was eating itself alive before the debut ink even dried. And once Wake 1 popped out ZB1, they basically threw Kepler in the attic like a cursed doll. The rollout? A mess. The music? Started decent. I did like Wadada, especially the floating burgers dance move in the chorus. Campy? Absolutely. But at least it was memorable. Too bad that was their peak before they tumbled straight down a kiddie pop hill with every comeback after. But listen, I came into this video to say nice things about groups I usually roast. So let me lock in and be the bigger person. Kepler has improved massively, like Joe on the floor level.
Blackpink.
Of glow up. I used to drag Chaehyun through the mud for being the most invisible center of the 4th gen lineup. She had the vocals, sure, but the stage presence was giving Rookie in the back row, not main event. They literally slapped pink hair on her during debut era hoping it would make people notice her, and it still didn't work. She was
I mean, to be fair, her page is basically dragging everybody. But I like who she drags the most. I think this video summarized it well. But I would add Blackpink. I think she drags Blackpink a lot.
standing next to Xiaoting, who looked
I'm just surprised by Kepler. I don't really feel like she drags Kepler like that.
like she was sculpted in a star factory. So the contrast was brutal. But now, Chaehyun stepped all the way up. Her stage energy is finally alive. Her facials are polished and she's actually claiming her space. Xiaoting also struggled with idol choreo at first because she's originally a ballroom.
I feel like I heard her mention Kepler like twice and been reacting to her in a year. Like, I don't, yeah, like what? Yeah, like we haven't really talked about Kepler in forever.
Like disbanding, rebranding.
Yeah, that was the only, but that's not like nothing. That's a fact.
Yeah.
But they dropped a music video today. We might check it out.
Dancer. But she adjusted her flow, sharpened her textures, and now you'd swear she's the best dancer in the group. There's control, there's intention, and she knows exactly when to light up. And don't think I didn't notice Bahi either.
But
That poor
mostly a
girl
lot
got
of
dragged
girl
through every
groups.
Yeah.
hate train imaginable, no talent, just a visual, only famous for her brother, and honestly, some of that criticism used to track. Her presence was flat, she looked stiff and the confidence was non-existent, but clearly, getting cooked lit a fire under her because she came back swinging. Now she's self-aware on stage. She connects with the camera and she finally moves like she wants to be there. It's not perfection, but it's progress. Kepler might not have hit the success level we all predicted when they were pre-debut hype monsters, but they've survived, and they've grown, skill-wise, performance-wise, individually. These girls have put in the work, and whether or not you like their songs or the mess Wake 1 calls management, you can't say they didn't glow up.
Okay.
I have one last thing to say.
What you gotta say?
For Kiss of Life, you know how they could come back
KOL.
when you kind of like shit in the audience that you were growing up in. You gotta find a new audience. So what I tend to see is those who like troll and they can no longer troll anymore. In this audience, they do a crossover as someone else's, like someone you wouldn't expect a crossover with, infiltrate their fan base and have new people fall in love with you
So who
to
should
create
they
a
cross with?
rebrand. I don't know, maybe someone from the West to make, kind of.
They're not big enough for any big artist from the West to want to collab with them.
Mm-hmm.
It would have to be like someone like a low level. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Because that's how I would see they have to keep grinding and then at some
I
point
would
do
say
a crossover.
what I would do with them. I would try to hook up with an Indian artist. Big country. No, I don't feel like.
Yeah, you just need to push.
I don't feel like they have offended anyone in India, at least not to my knowledge. So
Because if they have the numbers, they can go to these venues and have a second chance. Say, look, we bring in numbers, and the venues probably give a pass to that.
or Russia. There's a lot of K-pop fans in Russia.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. Share as much kindness as possible.